You're adulting all wrong. According to a recent article by Very Well Mind, here are the top generations, the top 4 generations when it comes to mental health, the percent of individuals whose mental health was less than good in the last month by generation. And here is what this article from Very Well Mind states. Boomers, baby boomers, which is the largest generation in America. The boomers, the older generation, they're at about 25%. Gen X is up there, about 45%. Millennials, a little bit more than that, probably 46%. And get this, the highest percentages of individuals who has mental health struggles in the last month was, you guessed it, Gen Z. Why? Why is that? Why is Gen Z having a hard time with their mental health? Well, I think it has a lot to do with adulting. And over these years, the generations that have gone through that same transitional period from high school to college to young adult, trying to figure out life, things are a lot different now. And if you're in your young, early 20s, early 30s, life is hard and inflation is up there, financial stress, there's relational stress, and that plays really heavily on your mental health. And part of the things that I'm a licensed therapist, and one of the things that I talk a lot about with my young adults, the Gen Z, the younger generation, is that they are trying to figure out adulting. And the problem is they have one foot as a teen and another foot as an adult, and they're trying to figure out life, and life is just really hard. And these are some of the top things that I have worked with and talked to with the younger generation. But these are some of the top things that Very Well Mind, this article, talks about. And it provides this impact, negatively impacted in the last 30 days by the following. This is Gen Z. This is trying to adult. Number one, almost 42% is sleep problems. Do you have problems going to sleep? Well, it might be because your routine is all messed up. You might be used to staying up all late or all night, and you're tired, and you get up and maybe you have to go to school or you have to go to work, and you're just fatigued the time because you're not on a normal, regular sleep schedule. Your sleep patterns are all messed up. The other one is social isolation is number 2 at almost 35%. Social isolation, social loneliness. And what happens so often when you graduate high school, all your friends that you had, they just kind of disappear, right? You go your own separate ways, and then all of a sudden you're alone. And then you go to college, and maybe you start all over with a friend group, and you might find new friends. And guess what? It starts all over again. When you graduate college, boom, they're all gone. And you may not even talk to them ever again. And yet high school and college age is the most impactful times of your life. And then all of a sudden you might be all alone. And that social isolation gets to you. You can get depressed. You can get a lack of motivation, loss of interest. And you just kind of hide. You hide out, right? So number 3, no surprise here, is financial concerns, financial stress. You know, as I talked earlier, the state of our country, inflation is skyrocketing. The job market is hard to get a decent job. If you go to college, you probably have school debt, school loans that you're trying to pay off, and all of these things, all these pressures. Rent goes up. Maybe you're living at home and there's conflict with your parents. That's a lot of stress. So you have sleep issues. You struggle with friends and being isolated. And then there's the financial stress on top of that. And not surprising, the 4th one is workload or job stress. That's at 32%. And let's say you have worked a lot in high school, you worked a lot in college, you finally have your degree, and now you're working, and maybe you're starting a family as well. And so maybe you're married and you're trying to figure that out, and then you have a child and trying to figure that out. And then work sets in. and you have to go in, and the burden, the stress, the deadlines, whatever job that you're in, maybe it's an hourly job or maybe it's a salary job, but the mundaneness starts to set in, right? And then you struggle with that, and then you have burnout, and then you don't want to do anything. You're lost of interest. And all these things that we mentioned here piles up on you as a young adult. And maybe you're adulting all wrong, and maybe it's you're trying to wing it to being an adult. But I want to encourage you to find out what you need to do. There are 5 things here. There are 5 things I really want you to really think about in practice. And then anybody can do this. And so it's the first one is sleep. And that's the number one problem with the young generation is you're not getting enough sleep. You need to work on sleep. What is it that's keeping you from sleeping? Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's stress, maybe it's depression, maybe it's whatever, right? Maybe you're just staying up and playing games or watching TV and you're just doing mindless things at night. And then you get up in the morning and have to start all over. And maybe some of you might only be getting a few hours of sleep. In reality, you probably need 9 hours of sleep. And so you're operating on a sleep deficit. And when you operate on sleep deficit, your brain can't develop and it affects your mental health. So you got to work on that. Develop a sleep pattern. I want you to work on a time to go to bed and a time to get up, and try to keep to that as much as you can. Try to focus and to have mindfulness, maybe do some deep breathing before bed. Don't take your phone, guys. Don't take your phone. Don't take your phone to bed and doom scroll. And this is the article, by the way. This is the article, the stats here. I'll put it in the video so you can see it. But don't just go on here and watch mindless videos throughout the day or night. That's going to keep you up and it's going to activate your brain. And you don't want to activate your brain when you're trying to deactivate and go to sleep. Your brain needs to go through the sleep cycle to be able to do all the generation it needs, and also to be able to recharge with the right hormones. Your brain produces the hormones, which then operates your nervous system. And you need that in good operating condition. So you do that by getting good quality sleep. Don't interrupt it. So develop some good sleep habits. So the second thing is, I want you to start exercising in some way. I'm not saying you have to go to the gym and work out, lift weights and all that, but even just go for a walk. Movement is going to help you tremendously. The third thing I want you to work on what you eat. You can't keep eating junk food and fast food. It's not good for you, and it's not good for your finances either. So I want you to learn some basic cooking skills. You can do this on YouTube. All you got to do is find some simple recipes that are healthy. And I want you to start a habit of meal prepping, of making a list of what you're going to eat to make sure it's healthy, and make it easy on you. You can prep it ahead of time and then just take it out of the refrigerator and put it in the microwave. But you have to develop this healthy habit. No one's going to make you anymore. You're not a kid anymore. So stop living like a kid. Stop acting like a kid and start working on these natural, healthy things that will help you feel better in your mental health. And then I want you to start drinking more water. Most of you are dehydrated. You're not hydrated enough. You need to work on just getting a bottle of water. I have this with me all the time, constantly. I'm constantly drinking water. Why? Because I want to stay hydrated, and that's good for my body. When you treat your body well, your body is going to treat your mind well. It's going to help you. And then I want you to work on your social connections. I know that was one of the top 3 reasons for poor mental health among the young people and Gen Z. And that's a very real thing. And you feel disconnected. And maybe it's because your friends went their own separate ways as they got older, or maybe you had conflict with them, and so you're not communicating with them, and so you feel alone. And unfortunately, that is an epidemic. The loneliness is real. And so I want to encourage you to find a way to make some connections, and maybe new connections. Maybe you join some kind of a group that's nearby, but look for opportunities to be able to engage and connect with others. You can't do life alone. It's not good for you. So try those 5 things. And my guess is you're adulting all wrong. Are you adulting wrong? Then learn these 5, my big 5, that's going to help you learn to take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your mind. And there's the connection between mind and body. So work on that. Will you do that? Tell me in the comments. Let me know, what are some of your struggles that you have with adulting? Is it finances? Is it having your own place? Is it parents? Is it friend issues? What is it that's really causing you a lot of struggle as an adult? There's a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worry and stress when you're trying to figure out life. And I get that. That's why I made this video. And I hope this is helpful. I hope it gets you to be thinking about what you can do to take care of yourself and take care of your mental health. And you got this. Don't give up on yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Don't give up. Always be mindful of the moment and try not to worry or borrow trouble from the future. All right? You got this. One day at a time. And find out what are some things, maybe make a list of the things that you need to do to start working on adulting the right way. And I think getting their sleep and bedtime routine, that's probably at the top of the list, isn't it? So try that. Let me know how it works. Let me know some of your struggles and stay true to yourself, my friends. Take care. Bye-bye.